I think a lot of people enjoy reading newspapers, whether online or in newsprint form, although I was surprised how hard it was to find newsprint form in the stores now. I had to go running from convenience store to convenience store one day just to find one. Now, I think the best parts of the newspaper, in my opinion, are the puzzles and the funnies or comic strips. Some, even a few of you, may turn to them first. I won't ask who. For many, the favorite cartoon strip was Peanuts, the one starring Charlie Brown. And of course, we can't forget Lucy, Linus, Snoopy, and Woodstock. I read that at its height, Schultz's Peanuts comic strip was published in 75 countries in 21 different languages. I also read that the story of the cartoon strip Peanuts can be read on two levels. The human level is meant to be funny, but there's also a divine level. Snoopy the Red Baron is Jesus. Lucy represents original sin, and Charlie Brown is us. I don't know who Woodstock's supposed to be. Maybe God? I'll leave it up to you. The divine level is a hidden message for our own lives. One of the best cartoon stories that Schultz ever wrote was the one titled The Little Red-Headed Girl, or I Love You, Charlie Brown. I try to listen to this story on two levels, both the human and the spiritual level. The story goes like this. Charlie Brown was in love. Linus knew it because Charlie Brown wasn't feeling very well lately. His stomach was upset. He was distracted. And Linus had seen Charlie looking over at the little red-headed girl on the school bus one day. Even more important than that, one day Linus saw Charlie playing the daisy game. You know the daisy game. She loves me. She loves me not. She loves me. She loves me not. Linus figured out what was going on. And so he approached Charlie and said, "You like the little red-headed girl, don't you, Charlie?" Charlie was so upset. He was flabbergasted. He was embarrassed. Now, another person knew that Charlie Brown was in love with a girl. Well, that same day, Charlie Brown went to school. And the teacher asked Charlie to come up in front of the whole class and read his report to all the kids in the class. Charlie was upset by this. He was flustered, frustrated, frazzled, and he fumbled his papers around to find his report. In his frustration, Charlie finally decided to read the first page, the top page, regardless of what it said. Charlie read aloud, "Dear little red-headed girl, do you like me? Yes or no, Charlie Brown." Oh no, he read the wrong paper. The whole class laughed at him, and there is nothing worse than having the whole class laugh at you. Well, the next day was the last day of school. And Charlie couldn't go all summer long without knowing if the little red-headed girl liked him. He had to know. It would be a long, long summer if he didn't know. What could he do? Charlie made his plans. He would go early the next morning and get on the school bus and ask her directly if she liked him or not. He set his alarm clock early so he wouldn't miss the bus. It was 4 o'clock in the morning that the alarm went off, and he felt like he'd been run over by a herd of elephants. He got up, went to the bus stop by 4:30 in the morning, and waited on a bench. While sitting on the bench waiting for the bus, Charlie dozed off and fell fast asleep, only to be awakened by the roar of the bus engine as the school bus pulled away from the bus stop. He saw the flash of the little red-headed girl's flaming red hair in the back window of the school bus as it pulled away. Oh no, rats. He missed the bus. He failed again. Charlie finally got to school late and had to get a late slip, but he was in the same class with her all day long. Suddenly, the day was over, and he had one chance left, only one. The ride home on the school bus. The school bell rang. He shot out of the school, and he stood there in line as the hordes of kids kept pushing and shoving and crowding around him. But he squeezed onto the bus. Where was the little red-headed girl? The bus started to pull away from the curb, and there she was on the curb, waving to him or someone on the bus. Oh no, failed again. Another crushing blow. In the confusion, he put his hands in his pocket, felt a piece of paper that shouldn't have been there. Somebody must have bumped into him and put that note in his jacket pocket. He opened the note. It said, "Dear Charlie, I like you, Charlie Brown, the little red-headed girl." Oh, Charlie was so happy. He jumped, he danced, he clicked his heels in the air, and he read the note again. "I like you, Charlie Brown." Charlie felt so good inside, and now all summer he would be happy because he knew he was liked by that little red-headed girl. After all, isn't that what life is all about? Here ends the story about Charlie Brown and the little red-headed girl. And this classic story about life is a parable, a story that has two levels of meaning. The story is obviously about Charlie Brown, but more importantly, we know that the story is about us. It's about you and me. The story is an answer to an important question in life. Am I liked? Am I loved? Do you like me? Do you love me? So simple, so basic, so important to all of us. How many of you remember the daisy game? Yeah. You removed the petals from the daisy flowers. You said, she loves me not. He loves me not. The point is, we still play that game today, whether we realize it or not. Am I loved? Am I not loved? Am I liked? Am I not liked? Do you like me? Do you love me? Do you respect me? And in this life, when we come to the conclusion that we are liked or loved or admired by a person, we click up our heels and dance because we know that we are loved. On the other hand, if we know that we are not liked, loved, or appreciated by that important person or persons, we don't feel like dancing at all. As disciples of Jesus, we continually fall far short in our love for one another, as well as in our love for those outside of our community of faith. How many times have we witnessed arguments descend into personal attacks and name-calling? Those in need of compassion sometimes find judgment instead. Jesus said, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you." This commandment fulfills the basic need found in each and every one of us. The need of all human beings is to know that we are loved and appreciated. Jesus said, "Love one another." As humans, we have many needs in our lives. We have basic needs that have to be met in order for us to survive. air, water, food, and shelter. But I think we have another fundamental need as well, the need to experience love, the need to receive love, and the need to give love in return. The kind of love commanded by Jesus and lived out by Jesus. Without this kind of love, I think it's difficult to reach our full potential. Oh, sure, we can survive with less, but without knowing God's love and sharing that love with those around us, I think we'll be falling short of the glory of God. Let me give you an example. How many of you are growing tomatoes or have grown tomatoes in the summer? Only a couple of, 3 of you? That's shocking to me in this community. There's nothing quite like a fresh garden tomato. Okay, imagine you're growing tomatoes. They're really good. You have a tomato plant, and this beautiful tomato plant grows bushier and bushier, thicker and thicker, leafier and leafier, greener and greener. And this plant grows to be the bushiest, leafiest, greenest plant that you have ever seen. But it doesn't produce any tomatoes. Would you say that this particular tomato plant was fulfilling its fullest potential? Probably not. Just as the tomato plant was designed by God to produce big red tomatoes or little cherry tomatoes, I think we've been designed by God to love, to experience love, to receive and give love. That is the way that God made us. We're made in the image of God, and we've been designed to love. And it's only then that we reach our full potential as human beings. We can settle for less in our life, but our life won't be as fulfilling. God has made us to love, and only in loving, experiencing love, receiving and giving love, can we find our true self and our true potential. But what is this love? I don't think it's easy to define. There are some things in life that are so mysterious and so big that you can't capture them, even in words. And I think that's the way love is. Love is so mysterious that you can't capture it in words, but when you see it, you know it. And I think we see it all around us every day of the week, if we're paying attention. Morris Niedenthal, former homiletics professor at the Lutheran School of Theology, said that Jesus accepted people just the way they were, but he never left people just the way they were, because he loved them. Jesus always made them better. Jesus always makes people better. Jesus accepts us just the way we are, but never leaves us just the way we are. He always makes us better. Or to put it another way, Jesus sees beneath the soil to the seeds of possibility of who we can become. So love as Christ loves. One day Charlie Brown fell in love with the little red-headed girl, and he didn't know whether she liked him or not. He was trying desperately to find out if she liked him. He went to so many subtle and not so subtle extremes to find out whether or not he was liked, whether or not he was loved. On the last day of school, he missed the bus, but bus was downhearted and so sad. Charlie, in his grief, looked into his hand and discovered a note that said, "I like you, Charlie Brown," signed the little red-headed girl. Charlie jumped into the air, danced, and clicked up his heels. For that is the way life is when you know that you are loved and are genuinely appreciated. You begin to find your true self, your true identity as a child of God. Let's harness the power of love in our lives. Click up our heels if your knees can handle it, and love as Christ loves us. Thanks be to God. Amen.